So we also click here, we zoom in, click, we click, keep clicking until we achieve the entire fence. We click here, zoom in, pick the correct fencing, click here, zoom out and zoom in. Okay. Click this, zoom out to see the extent of what we are doing. We zoom in to click better. You click, now there's actually a bend here. Once you make the mistake, what you do is you Control Z, then it goes, click fence, then to select to create a sharp curve like this, and to make sure that the curve is straight, is curved very well, nicely and smoothly, you come here and select arc segment. When you select this, you click here, you stylishly do this because achieving curves is quite difficult. So once you're done achieving the curve, you select back to straight line segment. Excuse me. Then you click here, okay, you Control Z, click here, that's the fence. You zoom out, zoom in. So that's the activity. You zoom out, you zoom in, you click, you zoom out, you zoom in, you click, you zoom out, you zoom in and click. That's the activity to achieve this fence. You can actually continue like this. This is a curve, but we can also continue with the straight line by gradually clicking at the edges. So we click the fence because we are trying to produce the context map. I have to Control Z. The base map or the context map of the main campus, University of Jos. Now coming to this last point, you click here. You can see after clicking here by left clicking, you drag, you right click and locate finish sketch. You click on it and there you have it. You have your boundary as your first. That's the boundary. Let's try to uncheck the raster image. You uncheck, you can see that that's your boundary. That's the beginning of our design. We have our boundary, we check back. Now what do we need to do next? Let's try doing some buildings. For the buildings, it's your choice. I would like to use what color do we use now? Do we use brown? Let me just use flame red. It's looking like brown. Outfill, outline, I don't want the color for outline. I move that. So we click this. Now we start with let's start with the simplest structure. Let's begin with simplest structure. Let's start with this. Okay, you just zoom in, you left click at the edge, one, the next, and next. Once you are done, you right click and finish sketch, or you double left click at the last point. Okay, now let's try another tool. You can actually click on building and select rectangle, but you have to be stylish. You zoom in, click the first edge, click the second edge, then you drag in to the extent you feel. That's when you have a perfect rectangle. You can use that. You can also use that for this. We click this first portion, you click the second portion, you drag in, it covers. We're actually digitizing, or in simpler terms, we are tracing. Okay, now let's see if we have another rectangular structure. Okay, we have one here. You left click here, you drag. This actually faster than doing polygon if it is a perfect rectangle. I think we have a few here. You click one, click two, you drag, click one, click two. You can do it this way, drag. What else? Let's see if we have more. Okay, there's one here. click here once, zoom in. You can zoom in better, get it more perfect. Zoom out. Let's search for another rectangular. I think this is another rectangular. Click once, click twice, you drag, and then there you have it. We're actually doing some digitizing exercise. So you click here once, zoom in, click here, drag, you're done. Repeat same for this. Click here, you drag, click here, and you click here and you drag. Okay, that's a polygon. You click here, and we drag. Now, as I explained, when you want to do a thorough job or a more detailed job, you the line uses, you create the feature classes for those line uses. Okay, this is actually not a rectangle. Okay, that's why I didn't do that. You click here, because we're under a rectangle 2. Is another building. Okay, I think there's another building here slightly. Okay, you do that. We have more rectangles here, so we keep using the rectangle tool. Let's achieve that. Same here, can do it this direction. This is another rectangle, can do it the other direction. Just be consistent and be careful, you'll get it right. Okay, now click here, you drag, click here, although this is having more of like an entrance. Okay, so let's not use polygon for this. What we do, we can click this. Because of this entrance, you click on this and let's delete this. We are going to use polygon to trace it. We'll use the polygon. So let's continue trace. We'll select our rectangle because we have more of rectangular structures or buildings. This is a rectangular building too. This is another rectangular building. We have much of rectangular buildings here. So the rectangular building, if you are using the rectangle as I told us, is faster than using this. If it's a polygon, you have to click the 4 sides. It also works, but if it's a rectangular structure, the rectangle is more efficient and faster. So that's why I chose to use this consistently. Okay, this is how you achieve it. Keep tracing. Okay, we have another rectangular structure here, building structure. Keep clicking. Good. Now let's see what we see. This is what we've been able to produce. This is another square rectangular. It works for it perfectly. So we're actually doing some tracing, as I said earlier on. This might not really give us. Okay, so now let's try using the polygon for complicated buildings. Polygon. Let's start with the L shape. Is very easy. You click here, click the edges, click this edge, click this edge, and the last point you double left click. Then you don't need to go there to say you want to right click and go to this. So for this H, you start from here. Maybe we say we right click and then go to finish sketch, but you can just do that by double clicking on the last point. So this is how you achieve irregular building shapes. Okay, now for this last point, I'll double left click, or I can click once and go and finish sketch. So I'll double left click. Now let's try this one. You start from this point,